Hi Bookfinders, it is Thursday, January 20th, and this week I read Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. So you guys know it's Lord of the Rings month. We've all been reading Lord of the Rings together this month. Not all of us, but many of us. And this week I read The Two Towers. And I had this whole video planned out where I was going to talk about the doom of choice and how morality is usually not a choice between good and evil, but deciding what is the lesser between two evils, and how the Two Towers, the title The Two Towers, was not referring to any two specific towers because there are far more than two towers in this book, but that it was symbolic of the choices that we make, and I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about it. You know why? Because I got trolls. And I know, it's the first rule of the internet. Anytime you put something up, expect to get trolled, and don't get pissed off when it happens, because it's inevitable. And when you pay attention to the trolls, you're just feeding their narcissism, and I get that. Don't feed the trolls, but expect them to be there. I know that. I was just hoping that, like, maybe out of all of us, I wasn't going to be the first one. And if I was the first one, maybe just have one troll instead of multiple ones. And even if I had multiple ones, hopefully just have the "you are gay" variety or "your mom sucks" type, and then you can just be like, yeah, of course they'd say that, they're an idiot, and then move on. But no. My first troll made an entire new account with nothing on it. Just made a whole account to go to one of my videos and leave a vaguely insulting comment. I mean, look at your life, look at your choices. It didn't even hurt my feelings. I mean, you're such a failure at life that you failed at insulting someone over the internet. It was just sort of, when those comments made me go, what? Do I know this person? And yeah, I mean, and sure, maybe your whole point was just to get a rise out of me, and I'm fulfilling that by acknowledging it now. But I was just amused by the fact that you so profoundly suck at life that you made this whole other account and went to such great lengths to insult me, to ultimately be a failure in that regard. Sorry. And my second one, maybe it's not fair to call this person a troll, because they're really more just a hipster with a chip on their shoulder that doesn't understand that a series of similar ideas does not equate one unified theory, and you can talk about one specific aspect of it without encompassing the entire discussion. And that's fine. That's fine. You just ride your high horse all the way home, and I'm just gonna forget that you exist. But basically, despite the fact that these trolls are just people that I should be ignoring, they do kind of suck the fun out of it, you know? We were all getting along, having a grand old time talking about books and other nonsense, and then they gotta come in and think that it's just cool for them to take all the joy out of life. They're fun suckers. They suck the fun out of everything. And so I don't wanna talk about this right now, because I don't want to deal with vaguely insulting comments on a book that I so dearly love, and yeah, I'm not going to do it today. And I'm also not going to ask you a question this week. I know, I always ask the questions, but I'm not going to this week because Sarah was the only one that answered my question from last week. So you all get on that. Answer my question from last week, and then maybe next week, if you're good, you'll get a new one. So in lieu of that, we are going to play Lord of the Rings Trivial Pursuit. Yay! Okay, obviously we're not going to play a full game of Trivial Pursuit because our lives are short. Instead, this is going to work a little bit like Truth or Fail. I'm going to ask you 5 questions as decided by the dice and the categories, and then give you some options on the screen. Click those options, it'll take you to another video where you will find out if you were right or if you were wrong. If you were right, you get to move on. If you were wrong, you lose. Or you can just go back to the video before and keep playing. I'm not trying to stop you. You can do what you want. This is the internet. Either way, just so you know before we get started, they are all movie version questions. That's just the version of Trivial Pursuit there is. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. So keep that in mind before you answer these questions. And let's get going. All right, first question. 1. Takes you to the sword, which is warfare. What hobbit drops his sword in fright when the ringwraiths attack at Amantul? Was it Merry, Pippin, Sam, or Frodo?
Wake up, I'm lonely. Let's talk about how we love to talk on the telephone. Hang up, go back to absolutely nothing. By absolutely nothing, I mean pick up the phone. The sun is out, the moon is smiling.